It is incredible. This will be the beginning of breathing life back into our first people's footprints that walked this nation, that created the highways. It'll breathe life back into the awareness of why our people did that. They walked to care for the country. And this will just be the beginning of starting that journey again. And we hope that whomever comes to experience this, that they will tread softly and follow the wisdom of our ancient people's footprints.
We both feel this is about ecological and cultural restoration, bringing the two together, learning from the traditional owners, learning about the wisdom in which they used science to manage the landscape. And if we could learn from the traditional owners in this way, I feel that we would do a lot better job of managing these natural systems that are so precious, that have evolved through deep time. This footage is providing some background to the construction of the Genestream sculpture for the Bunya Mountains as a contribution to the Bunya Mountains vision for a bush university. The Genestream Sculptures initiative, in partnership with traditional owners, local communities and Gondwana Link, is a nationwide project between Indigenous and non-Indigenous artists, community organisations and conservation groups. This project is about cultural and ecological connectivity. We're really looking for people like you who want to get involved to step forward and work with us to work in your community, in your region, and develop further sculptures. The importance of the people on the ground is absolutely critical to a project such as this. Our project is a grassroots project, and we strongly believe in being inclusive. Genestream Sculptures strongly support community engagement. We're interested in working with schools, conservation organisations, Indigenous organisations, anybody that takes an interest in sharing their stories through a Genestream sculpture project. It's about sharing the stories and local conservation issues of your region. We don't want to leave anyone out or leave anyone behind because of the costs related to a physical sculpture. Therefore, we've created on the website that we're developing currently, www.genestreamsearth.com, the capacity to host augmented reality sculptures. We trialled the augmented reality sculptures at Mount Magnet following the Astro Rocks Festival, and more recently have featured an augmented reality sculpture in the township of Calabaran. The augmented reality sculptures, for all intensive purposes, look real, as you can see in these images, but they're actually sculptures that you view through your phone. This enables any organisation or shire to become involved in this nationwide project of Genestream sculptures without the costs that are incurred in a physical sculpture. We'd love to hear from you. It's about bringing communities together and heightening an awareness of caring for country. We can't do it individually, but if we work together across communities, we can. You'll now hear from the head of Gondwana Link, Keith Bradby, who will provide you with the overview.
I think everything we do individually and organisationally has to take account of the fact that we're now well recognised that we're living in a biodiversity and a climate emergency. That's why we established Gondwana Link, because the previous 30 or 40 years of environmental and land care effort was inadequate. It had to be scaled up. We had to be bigger and bolder, stronger visions. And I think what we're seeing now is that every sector has to be looking to how it makes a far more positive contribution to dealing with those two big issues of our time. It's been exciting to watch, for example, the Olympic Federation and the various international sports organisations work out how the sports can make a positive impact. And of course we're here today because the visitor industry, tourism industry, has to do the same. For us in Gondwana Link, where we've been trying to tackle the big issues at big scale, visitors provide an incredible opportunity for what I can only call adult education. We have to be able to bring the broader community with us in their understanding of the really complex and really difficult issues we face as a society. There's no simple solutions, there's no quick band-aids, there's no quick fix. We're also deeply concerned that communities, and particularly the political community, tend to focus on the symptoms rather than the causes. So how do we help the community embrace these deeper needs? And obviously working through the art, working with schools, there's a whole basket of things that can be done. The particular attraction for us of the Genestreams approach is we're bringing together the story of one of the world's oldest continuous ecosystems, the 250 million year southwestern Australia story, with one of the world's oldest First Nations communities, the Noongar people, and using that as the foundation of a national approach. We've got to help the community see the bigger systems they're part of. We go back a long way, and helping people trace that deep time history is of critical importance to help them see forward a long way. I'm not really interested in what conservation is going to be like in 10 years or 20 years. We've got to apply a 100-year, 1,000-year, 10,000-year time frame. And Genestreams is designed to help that happen. But to be able to do it in conjunction with our Noongar colleagues and tell their deep time stories and portray that for the public is exactly what we all need to be doing, the respectful approach to moving forward together. So to get the Gondwanling program going, we've relied very heavily on private money and the generosity of individuals across Australia and globally. But what we've found consistently, it's the story of the place. It's the bigger narrative, the understanding the great forces that are at play, be it the geological shaping of the continent, the rise of the Proteaceae, so many stories. You can plan to take people for a 10-kilometre walk, and at lunchtime you find you've only done 200 metres. The great opportunity there is for us to grab the current approach to visitors and move away from just pretty scenery and recreational use and get them entranced in the depth of this country, in the whole range of weird and wacky ways that our plants and our animals have evolved and survive in this part of the world. Get them down on their knees enraptured with this stuff and meeting the locals. The local restorationists, the local Noongar people, the incredible story of the Noongar people and how they're now working to help us repair the damage we did to the land. That's what grabs the visitor, and I don't think we make enough use of it. So Genestreams is a doorway into that world.
So the Genestream Sculptures, as an extension of Genestreams, it's a broader project where we see ourselves as part of this incredible unfolding life that has been growing through space and time for many, many hundreds of millions of years, in fact billions of years on this planet.
So we have the combined effort of Western science with old science, and that's where we are now. We've come back in a full circle where culture and caring for country is integral to our plans. People with a passion to care for the environment. We're all working together. And this is where race doesn't become an issue. The issue is caring for country. The issue is protecting our environment. The issue is salvaging something for our future generations. We don't own the land. We are only custodians. We can't take it with us when we leave this life. And so we need to give it back and make sure it's there for our future generations to care for.